Welcome to One on One with Mitch Lafon. Joining me this week, Epica singer Simone Simons. We talk about their new album, The Holographic Principle, her personal fashion and style website, Smoon Style, Motherhood, the upcoming tour, and a lot more. Please, before checking that out, check me out on Twitter at Mitch Lafon, MITCHLAFON, paypal.me/Mitch Lafon, and on Facebook, One on One Mitch Lafon. And with that, here is the one, the only, Simone Simons from the band Epica.
Hello, this is Simone from Epica, and you're listening to One on One with Mitch Lafon. Rock on.
We are speaking with Simone Simons of the band Epica. The new album is Holographic Principle. A great pleasure to speak to you.
Nice talking to you too.
Yes. So let's talk about the new album. After the last album, the Quantum Enigma, it set the bar very, very high. Going into this one, what was sort of the writing process or the band's state of mind?
To at least, have the same level of quality that we had with the Quantum Enigma. The writing process was quite similar. All of the 5 guys were writing songs, and we had this huge list of 27 songs to choose from. And from there, we picked 18 songs that we in the end recorded. All songs have been, developing under the guardianship of Joost van den Broek, our producer. And we recorded the CD in the same studio as the Quantum Enigma. And we had it mastered by Jacob Hansen as well. So we kind of kept the same team. The writing process happened all over the world, not only at our home studios, but also in the airplanes and the back lounges of the tour buses. And we have our mobile home studio always with us, so whenever we have inspiration, we have the possibility to quickly record it.
Yeah, so talk to me about that process, because I know bands work sort of, there's sort of a two train of thoughts. Those that get off the road, lock themselves in a room, and that's how they make the album. And then there's bands like yourselves that write on the road. Are there any challenges when you're doing it that way?
I think it's more like a pro, because you can, you don't have to confine yourself to or limit yourself to certain hours during a day. Whenever inspiration hits you, you can quickly record it. And of course, when you're on the road, sometimes you just have to sing the melody, and then when you have all your tools, you can record a demo track properly. But I've seen Mark working on songs, in the airplane, and myself, I've been writing lyrics in backstages as well. Whenever you feel inspired or whenever you have time, no matter where you are, you just sit down and see if something nice comes out.
Yeah, now, I've had a chance to watch the holographic documentaries that the band has posted on YouTube, and I see how the band really meticulously constructs the songs with the different parts. How conscious are you of the live performance when making the songs?
I believe with the Quantum Enigma and now with the Holographic Principle, we wrote the songs separately in our home studios, and then the guys came together to play the songs together to see how they would feel. And the past records, we've done it differently, the writing process, because we live far apart, and we just record demo tracks on our home studios, and then we would directly record it in the studio without actually having played them as a band together. I live in the south of Germany. Mark lives in Sicily, Isaac in Belgium, the other 3 guys scattered over the Netherlands, so it's not like we can get together and jam. That's something we haven't done until after our anniversary show, Retrospect, where we thought we have to switch things up. We want to kind of reinvent ourselves, and it might sound totally normal to a lot of bands that might do it like this, but for us it takes a lot of planning, scheduling to make it happen, because we already touring so much. And with the Quantum Enigma, I was pregnant, so we couldn't tour anymore. I was just too big. And that gave us the time to really get into detail and play the songs. The rhythm section of the guys would play the songs and turn them really more into live songs, not just studio songs, if that makes sense.
Well, it does, but also, like I was saying, I see a lot of moving parts. I see that, the drums were recorded very, singularly, and everything was done very meticulously in separate parts. Is there a consciousness about how it's going to sound live, or is it like, no, we'll just make it as epic as possible and we'll worry about the live show later?
Well, we know that it's impossible for us to take the orchestra and choir with us, so
Right.
that's anyway always backtrack. So there you have limitless options.
Okay.
And whenever we have a special show planned, like retrospect, then we make it happen, because all these instruments that you hear on the CD, 95%, I think, are all real instruments. So we know it's not impossible to play live, because we had real humans record them for us.
Yeah, so now you mentioned the pregnancy. Let me talk about motherhood for a little bit. When I had my two kids, it changed everything. It changed the rules. It changed how much I was out on the road and what I was doing. How has it impacted you in terms of being a musician and also just being a person? Do you just want to be home more, or what has it done for you?
Changed a lot, like you said. We have to plan everything more carefully so that we are also home in between the tours, that the tours don't last that long like we've had in the past. Me and Kun are both parents, so we have little children and you want to see them grow up. So you have to find that balance, and it can be a struggle. And I will always miss my son, but if I know he's in good hands, my husband or my mother-in-law, then I know, he's safe, he's doing well, and then I can really do my job. But if I know he's sick, it has happened that I had to go home sooner. Luckily, I didn't have to cancel shows yet, but whenever he's sick, I prefer to be home with him. So I had to skip some press days to be home, and the band is very understanding, and yeah, I guess for them it's hard to put themselves in my position, being the mother, going away for a job. It's still, in these modern times, it's still weird for a lot of people that the mother is also the provider, together with the dad. In these times, both parents need to work to make ends meet. And yeah, it's a struggle, but so far things went really well, and Epica's doing so well that I don't want to miss both. I don't want to miss having my family, but I also still love being a musician and traveling the world.
Yeah, and it does change. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. It changed the motivation. When you're younger, it's work, 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 career, 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 and then after that sort of seems unimportant. But at the same time, you've got a band where you're responsible for these, everybody, including the tech guys and the roadies and all that. Has it changed your motivation, or has it made you want to work even harder to make the band successful?
It's a combination. I think my family comes first, Epica comes second, but it's intertwined. You want to provide for your family, therefore you have to work, but you also don't want to be away too much from your family. But as far as all the other stuff, for example, my website, the blog that I have, has come third place or even less, because I also really want to keep the house clean and organized, and I like to cook and bake. I find nutrition really important, so I spend a lot of time in that. And then there's very little time left to do the other things that I like. So in the past, I would stay up late to still work on the website, and now I kind of choose to just spend more time with my family. And whenever I'm traveling with Epica, I have more free time to work than on the website. And when I'm home, I'm basically like a housewife, mother who does the dishes and goes grocery shopping. It's all very normal, and I enjoy family life, and I enjoy being a singer.
Yeah, so it's so very rock and roll. Now, I did want to talk about Simoon style, but you mentioned the word inspiration. And one of the inspirations that I know from your career was the Nightwish album Oceanborn that sort of changed everything for you. What was that? What was so special about that album that it just sort of changed where you wanted to go with your life?
Well, I always loved to sing, and when I heard Angels Fall First and Oceanborn, I just loved the combination of the metal with the female voice, and I loved listening to metal bands, but that was a little bit more my introduction to the scene, with the beautiful angelic voices, and that was the incentive for me to get classical singing lessons, because I've had singing lessons before, but that was more in the pop music direction and sung in a choir, but then the classical singing kind of took over, and it still holds a special place in my heart. And the CD Oceanborn, fun fact is that the cover that they did of the movie The Snowman Walking in the Air is one of my childhood favorite movies. So that kind of connected directly with the nostalgia in me. And I think Tarja has a phenomenal voice on that CD. It's a classic.
Yeah, it really is. Now you mentioned movies and stuff. The band had done a score for, in fact, the movie called The Score, An Epic Journey. What was it like working in that constrained environment? Because you didn't get to sing a lot on that album. How was that putting it together?
I honestly have to dig really deep, because I don't think I sang at all on that record, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe just 2 parts or so.
Yeah,
there
was a part here and there, but very, very limited. But how was that for you to see the band go ahead and make this production, and you're sort of sitting on the sidelines?
I didn't get to be very much involved with that. That was mainly just Mark and Koen and Eve, I believe, that were writing the music for that. And that's such a long time ago. I don't recall that much. Must be all the headbanging that I've done
since then. But is that something that you would like to see the band do more of? Because, with the symphonic metal, it really does lend itself to being a soundtrack to a movie. Is that something the band has talked about, or is there an interest on your behalf to want to do more in cinematic?
I would love to actually be a guest vocalist on a Disney movie or just an epic blockbuster. I loved what Hans Zimmer did with Lisa Gerard for Gladiator, something like that. I really loved the atmospherical, melancholic vocals. So and Disney movies. When I was little, I loved Ariel. I don't know, Aladdin. That's how you pronounce something.
Yeah, Aladdin.
We say Aladdin, so it's funny.
Yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. I think my voice would be suited for that really, really well. But I'm still waiting for Hans to give me a call.
Yeah. Well, but by the way, I would agree. I really could see your voice in a Disney epic. I mean, I think that would actually be a perfect match. Now, you mentioned Smoon Style before. Talk to me a little bit about that blog and the idea behind it, because, when you look at metal bands, it's always supposed to be dark and dirty and metal, and here you are doing a fashion thing that one would associate more with like a Gwen Stefani, and I think you do it very well. In fact, my daughter's checked out your site and she loves it.
That's cool.
So talk to me about doing that, and was there any backlash from fans going, "Oh my God, what is she doing makeup site?" Or not at all?
No, I'm the first metal singer to actually have a blog like that, so that's kind of unique, I think. And I've managed to kind of turn it into a kind of second profession besides Epica, but I can combine it really well because I love photography. I'm traveling with Epica. I'm doing my own hair and makeup. I'm working together with designers. I shop for clothing. I love to cook and bake and share, all those things with the fans. So the majority, mainly all the women, they love it, and the guys, they like, yeah, I'd like to see more tour diaries because they're not so much interested into the lipsticks and stuff. But yeah, I think it's kind of a great diversity that I offer on the website.
Oh, I agree. Is that something though that you would like to further in terms of career, where you would have your own line of clothes and your own line of lipstick. Is that even possible, being in a metal band, to have those two worlds exist?
I think so, because if you look at I think she's American, Kat Von D, she's a tattoo artist. She's into alternative music, and she has her own makeup line that's really successful. So I do think there's a possibility, and there could be a market for it. But I don't have any concrete plans for that yet. But I love cosmetics. I always have, and I think it's a great way to kind of express your creativity. I don't necessarily see something as, something to hide. I see it as an art form, and it's just fun to play with. And I always loved it. When I was little, I was waiting for that yearly festivities that we have in the Netherlands called Carnival. I was waiting to grab those crayons and paint myself. So and with Epica, I can also wear crazy makeup without being crazy. Of course, I won't walk around in my hometown wearing blue lipstick, but for Epica, I can do that, and I like that.
Really can. In terms of working outside the band, do you have any desires to do albums, or solo albums, I should say, outside of the band, or is Epica really the main focus?
Epica is my main focus. I have so little time besides Epica, and if I wouldn't be a mother, I guess I would have more time besides Epica, but my priority has my son. So, and I think my voice will still last for many decades. So I don't know, whenever things don't work out with Epica anymore, I could see that I would have more time to work on a solo record, whatever musical style that would be. But for now, I just enjoy doing guest appearances at other metal bands, or I already have to be very selective with that due to limited time.
Now you mentioned that your voice is going to last decades and decades, which of course it should. Do you do anything special to ensure that? Are there vocal warm-ups or vocal exercises? Do you sing in a limited way to not cause damage, or is it just
Well, I basically listen to what state my body is like. If I'm really, really tired, then I already know I have to sing in a kind of economically way, to save my voice. But healthy lifestyle. I sleep a lot. I eat healthy with a side of chocolate. I cannot say no to chocolate. I have a sweet tooth, but yeah, everything in moderation. I don't drink much. I don't smoke. I don't party. I don't go to places where I have to yell at people. So I do really handle my voice with care, and I know the tricks. Like if you are in a loud place, you want to speak to people, go close to their ear and speak in a low voice and don't shout and all that stuff. And sports, I work out whenever I can. So that's a little bit how I stay in shape and maintain my overall health, and also the
dexterity
condition of my voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's doing great now. The tour is coming to North America shortly. What can fans expect on this leg of the tour?
Yeah, we're going to be touring with Flash God Apocalypse. Very exciting. And we are going to lift our, the standard of our show, the quality, the production.
You're
to
going to
a higher
up your
level.
game, as they say.
Yeah, we're going to try to up our game. And we're going to play a really nice collection of songs from all the records. It's not just going to be the Holographic Principle. We'll be playing the golden oldies as well, and just overall great energy, great light show, great live performance.
Would you like to, at some point, do either the Quantum Enigma or the Holographic Principle or any of your albums as full album shows with full presentation with actors and, the whole thing?
I really love to play CDs from beginning to the end. But the thing is that sometimes some songs are not we have written all the songs to be live songs, but they are not always received. Excuse me. It's been a long day.
It's a little later over there than it is here. So yeah.
So some songs might not be perceived by the fans as, or seen as great live songs, or that they are not going to be most popular.
Right.
So we always end up playing the songs that the fans like the most and that we feel fit in the set list the best. But another thing is that we have a huge discography now, and we don't know all songs by heart. So it would be quite this task for us to memorize all the songs as well.
It gets complicated. Now, I know we have 20 minutes, and I know that you've had a long day. I'll finish on this. In terms of parenthood and being a mother and family, where do you see yourselves in terms of the family size? Because I know, again, for myself, we have 2 kids, and we sort of thought that was the perfect number. Are you planning on having a second child and a third child, or is one sort of where you're happy?
For now, one is great,
right?
Especially with all the touring, it's easier to organize.
Right.
And I'm 31 now, so I kind of set the limit for me around 37, 38.
Right.
So I can still enjoy my son. I loved watching him grow up, and I really enjoyed it, and I want him to be more independent when the second child arrives. And who knows what's happening with Epica then. We're not planning, but we are saying maybe to a second child, but a third child, that would only be if I would be pregnant with twins, I think.
Right.
You never say no, but I find it how do you say, more difficult to combine the job and a child. And now we have our safety net, which is my mother-in-law. If she were not there, then it would be kind of impossible. So for now, everything is fine, and we're making it work.
You're making it work, yeah. And just from my own experience, I think 2 was the perfect number. They play with each other and babysit each other, and it's made life a lot simpler. So there you go.
How old are they?
Jada just turned 13 and Ryan just turned 10, but that 3-year gap made a big difference, because when she was 5, 6, 7, she could take over for those 10, 20, 30 minutes where you had to make supper, or life was just, there was too many things going on, and so it helped, made a big difference. So there you go. A great pleasure speaking with you, and
nice talking to you too.
And look forward to seeing you in Montreal in November.
Thank you. Yeah, come say hi.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. And there you have it, folks, my interview with Simone Simons from the band Epica. The new album is The Holographic Principle, and do check out her website, Smoon Style, for all your latest fashion tips. And with that, I say bye for now. But first, please check me out on Twitter at Mitch Lafon, MITCHLAFON, Facebook, one-on-one, Mitch Lafon, paypal.me/Mitch Lafon, should you care to support the podcast. Oh my.